What is up, guys? It's your boy Success right here, and welcome to a brand new video from the beautiful Philippines. So today is actually a cool evening, and I'm just standing right here at this beautiful place right here and chilling. So I decided to talk to you guys on a question that I've also been receiving from a lot of people, and this is, can international students actually come to the Philippines? So during the pandemic, a lot of people had plans to come to the Philippines to study, and because of the pandemic, travels were not allowed in the Philippines. But now that the Philippines is actually opening again, and people are traveling now to the Philippines, are international students actually allowed to come in the Philippines? Or how could you actually go about funding your school here in the Philippines to study as an international student? So ladies and gentlemen, I'm Success. I do travel videos around the Philippines. If you're new here, make sure to smash that subscribe button and stay tuned for all of my travels around the Philippines. And welcome to the vlog. Let's get started and let's dive right into it. So you are an international student, probably you are in the Philippines, or you are planning to come to the Philippines, and you are actually wondering, like, how is the process like, coming to the Philippines and study as a student? International students who were outside of the country or outside of the Philippines could not enter the country or could not come to the Philippines to enroll in schools because of the pandemic, and the airport was actually closed. But now that the airport is open, I know there are so many of you actually planning your trips to the Philippines and how you could do this. So there are two ways to enroll as an international student in the Philippines. The Philippines is actually a very easy country to come to as an international student, in the sense that there are schools here that are actually cheaper for foreigners. So for example, in most countries you need to pay like $4,000 to $5,000 just to enroll as a student, but here in the Philippines you could pay $600 for a semester in a school, depending on the course you are taking and the school you are enrolled into. But there are people who pay like $600 to $1,000 for tuition. Some people even pay less than that in your third or fourth semester. So for the first semesters, most times you need to pay like $600. So it's actually going to be in pesos, and you are not required to actually pay that at once. So you can actually pay that 3 or 4 times. It's all up to you how many times you want to pay it. And most schools here in the Philippines also have the same system. You are not actually compared to pay all of your tuitions at once. So before we dive right into the main topic of how could you come to the Philippines as an international student, or maybe you are an international student in the Philippines and finding your school here in the Philippines. So before we dive into it, I'm just going to give you these basic things you need to know and why you should actually choose the Philippines to study as an international student. So number one, the low cost of tuition. So tuition here in the Philippines is actually very low. So you could even compare tuitions here in the Philippines with tuitions in Africa. So most countries, as I know, you need to pay thousands of dollars, like 2, 3, 4, 5,000. So if sometimes you are paying $5,000 for a year in a country, is considered cheap for tuition. But here in the Philippines, $5,000 could be more than like 5 semesters for you, depending. But also, we are not talking about the cost of living in your rentage or whatever. We are just talking about tuition here, guys. All right. So another thing to take into consideration is that there are many countries out there that you could go to as an international student and work while going to school. But here in the Philippines, you are not going to work as an international student. So as long as you're coming here as a student in the Philippines, you are not allowed to work. But you could still survive because you could do self-employed businesses or self-employed jobs. So there are a lot of students in the Philippines who have online shops, who sells online, who have skills, in doing a lot of things to survive and make money while they are here in the Philippines. So ladies and gentlemen, now let's talk about coming to the Philippines as an international student. So there are 2 ways to do that. So in some cases, you actually need to apply from your country. So you have to be in your country and apply before coming to the Philippines as an international student. And in other cases, you actually need to come to the Philippines, or you could come to the Philippines and stay in the Philippines and apply as an international student. But once you enter the Philippines, your day is going to start, and they are going to count a certain amount of days that you need to apply as an international student. And if you're going to stay a longer time, you are not apply or you are not enrolled as a student in the Philippines, the immigration could also hold that against you. So let's talk about the first step where you need to apply from your home country. So let's say you're coming from places like Africa, like me, like myself. So you need 4 important documents to apply as an international student. So you actually need your high school diploma, you need your transcript, and you also need your report card. So you're going to need your report card, and the last important document you're going to need is your passport. So you need your passport in applying for your student visa, or or applying to the university. So most times these schools have their site. You could go online to the school and apply directly to the school, or sometimes you need to send your documents here to people or to a friend who could help you to apply for you to come to the Philippines. So in most cases, people actually send their documents, and some people here or their friends here gonna help them apply for their admission. So what is admission? Admission is when the school accept you. Once your documents have been sent to the school, and then the school accept you to study in the university, the school is going to give you an admission letter. So with this admission letter, and this admission letter is also going to be accompanied by an enrollment letter. So in some cases, the school is going to require you to stay in your country and make a deposit in the school. So once you have made that deposit, you're going to have a letter of enrollment, meaning you have already paid some of your school fees. So as you are coming to the airport or you are applying for your visa, this could be supporting documents to show to immigration that you are actually coming here to study. And it's actually very important to have the letter of enrollment and that of admission. So once you are applying at the immigration for your visa to come to the Philippines, you're going to need the admission and letter of enrollment from your university to present these things to the immigration, and that immigration will now give you a student visa based on the fact that you are coming here to study. So let's say, for example, you are from a country that requires a visa to come to the Philippines. Once you go to apply for your visa, in most cases they're going to ask you, why are you going to the Philippines? You need to tell them you are going to school. So sometimes they might require you to have an admission from the school you are going to and a letter from that school in order to give you a visa. Once you have the admission, it could serve as an evidence that you are actually coming here to school. Once it's also accompanied by your letter of enrollment, which is actually important, it also gives you advantage, or it also make your visa processing very easy, because immigration knows that you have already paid some of your school fees and you are actually coming here to school. Let's talk about people who actually can come to the Philippines. Like, you can just travel from your country, come to the Philippines, and you enroll. Actually, anyone could also travel to the Philippines and enroll. So let's say, for example, you are coming from a country that requires visa first. Let's talk about country requiring visa. So you could also apply for a tourist visa, and once you are granted a tourist visa to come to the Philippines, you could enter the Philippines, and after you have entered the Philippines, you can also enroll. So while you are in the Philippines, it's also legally allowed to find a university, enroll, and go to the immigration. Like, I came to the Philippines a month ago and I found a university. I have enrolled, and these are the documents here. I'm enrolling the school, and the school is actually going to, most times, in most cases, the school is actually going to help you do your student's visa. So the school is actually going to help you to do your student visa. So if you're coming here and you came on a tourist visa, you can actually legally find a university and enroll and present those documents to immigration and get a student visa, which is actually valid for a 1-year period. So after the 1-year period, you can extend as long as you still need to study. So let's talk about people who actually can just come to the Philippines. So if you're from a country where you could just book a flight and come to the Philippines, you could actually come to the Philippines, but you need to answer some question at the airport. So answering this question at the airport, immigration is going to ask you, what is your nature or what is your purpose of visit to the Philippines? So you actually need to be clear to them and tell them that you are coming as a student, or you are coming to study here in the Philippines. So to prove this, you're going to need to prove this by maybe your admission or your letter of enrollment. So if you came to the airport and the immigration, they are actually straight at the airport, especially for people who don't have visa and coming to the Philippines, and you came and they ask you, why are you going to the Philippines? And you say, like, I'm actually enroll as a student, so I'm going to study. They're actually going to ask you for your letter of admission. In most cases, once you are on the visa on arrival and you came to the Philippines, the immigration is actually going to call your school and confirm, like, are you guys expecting this student coming to your school? And your school have to actually confirm that yes, they are expecting you, and then immigration can stamp you and you enter and find and then enroll. So I actually advise, if you're coming on like a visa free, you are coming from a visa free country, make sure to secure a school. If you secure secure a school, you could use the document as a means to enter the Philippines easily, or else you're gonna have problem at the airport if you just want to come, you know, and then enroll. No, so you should actually secure your university and have all of your documents, your admission, and every document that you're gonna need coming to the Philippines. And once you reach at the airport, it's gonna be easy for immigration to actually allow you or grant you entry in the country. Ladies and gentlemen, these are actually ways that you could enroll here in the Philippines, or you could come to the Philippines as an international student. So in the next video, we're going to be talking about how to find your university as an international student, or what university you should be going depending on the course you want to study. So depending on your course you want to study, we're going to be recommending university here in the Philippines that you could attend. And I'm Success. I do travel videos around the Philippines. Today I answer one of your major questions, and if you are new to the channel, make sure to smash that subscribe button, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace and see you in the next video.